Iceland is not just a country, it is a living creature, a place where the ground moves beneath your feet, where new land rises from the ocean, and where the sky burns with colors no camera can fully capture. Iceland was not built by people. It was forged by fire, carved by ice, and shaped by forces so powerful they still rewrite the island today. Every glacier, every volcano, every crack in the earth tells a story older than civilization itself. And the more you learn about this place, the more unbelievable it becomes. What you are about to discover is a land that should not exist, yet somehow thrives at the edge of the world. Long before Iceland became a modern nation, long before cities, governments, or borders existed, a very different assembly took shape here. In the year 930, Viking settlers gathered on a vast open plain called Thingvellir. They stood between cliffs carved by splitting tectonic plates and formed what would become the oldest ongoing parliament in the world. The Alþingi was not just a council, it was the birthplace of Icelandic law, identity, and community. Every summer, thousands of people traveled across mountains and lava fields to speak, to settle disputes, to trade, to marry, and to set the foundation of a society that still exists today. In many ways, Iceland began here, in a valley where two continents drift apart. The ground beneath them was literally tearing open even as their future took shape. Iceland has always been a land that refuses to stay still. One of the most dramatic examples appeared in 1963, when fishermen off the southern coast saw smoke rising from the ocean. At first they thought it was a boat on fire, but it was not a ship, it was the Earth itself. A volcanic eruption had broken through the seafloor, and over the next 4 years, an entire island rose from the depths. The world watched in disbelief as Surtsey took shape, new land forming in real time. It was a rare moment where humans could witness planetary creation with their own eyes. Today, the island remains off-limits to protect its untouched ecosystem, one of the most important natural laboratories on Earth. Few places remind us so clearly that Iceland is not finished. It is still becoming. Iceland's relationship with the forces beneath it is not just geological, it is deeply practical. Nearly the entire country runs on clean, renewable energy. Geothermal heat from the Earth's core warms homes, schools, and hospitals. Hot water flows directly from underground reservoirs into radiators and pipes. In winter, sidewalks in Reykjavik stay free of ice because naturally heated water runs beneath them. Massive hydroelectric plants draw power from glacial rivers, turning waterfalls into electricity. While much of the world debates how to build a sustainable future, Iceland has been living in one for decades. Here, nature provides everything: heat, light, and life. The landscapes shaped by this power are unlike anything else on Earth. Iceland is a place where glaciers stretch across mountains like frozen oceans, where black sand deserts made of ancient ash surround fields of green moss, where blue ice caves glow like cathedrals and can only be entered for a few weeks each year before melting and reforming. Some caves hold air that is thousands of years old, others disappear overnight. Every glacier, every ridge, every cavern is temporary, carved and erased by the endless battle between fire and cold. To explore Iceland is to explore a land that is constantly being rewritten. Iceland is so volcanically active that during major eruptions, this small island has produced 1/3 of all the lava on Earth. Rivers of molten rock stretch for miles, creating new landscapes in days. Some eruptions last months, others years. In the past, ash clouds from Iceland darkened skies across Europe, changed global temperatures, and shaped human history. This is not a quiet place. It never has been. The ground shakes, the mountains open, the rivers rise, and the island reminds its people that nothing here is permanent. Yet the culture that emerged from this shifting world is one of the most stable and enduring on the planet. The Icelandic language has barely changed for more than 1,000 years. While English has transformed beyond recognition since the time of the Vikings, Icelandic has preserved its structure, rhythm, and vocabulary. Children in school today can read ancient sagas written centuries ago almost as easily as modern books. These sagas are not just stories, they are historical treasures filled with battles, voyages, betrayals, and survival. They describe the lives of explorers, farmers, outlaws, and warriors in a land where nature ruled with absolute power. Walking across Iceland, you can still find Viking burial mounds rising from the earth. Many hold weapons, jewelry, and everyday tools, buried with the person who once used them. The stories of these early settlers live on in festivals, traditions, and oral history. Icelandic women played remarkable roles in this heritage. Leaders like Otter the Deep-Minded sailed oceans, founded settlements, and shaped early communities. Iceland's past is filled with powerful figures whose stories remain part of the national identity. But Iceland's history is not only one of heroism. In the 17th century, fear and superstition swept across Europe, and Iceland was no exception. The island held its own witch trials, with a haunting twist, because most of the accused were men. Many were executed by beheading, while women were more often drowned. The echoes of these dark chapters still linger in places like Thingvellir, where justice was once both delivered and denied. Even today, the spiritual world remains deeply rooted in Icelandic culture. Many Icelanders believe in elves, trolls, and hidden people who live in rocks, hills, and lava formations. Some roads have been rerouted to avoid disturbing areas believed to be sacred. Construction projects have been paused until specialists evaluate whether hidden beings may be affected. To outsiders, these beliefs might seem like legends, but in Iceland, they are part of a living relationship between people and the land, a reminder that humans here have always shared the island with forces they cannot fully explain. Among Iceland's most treasured companions is the Icelandic horse, a breed found nowhere else in the world. Small, sturdy, and incredibly strong, these horses have been isolated for over 1,000 years. Importing foreign horses is forbidden, and once an Icelandic horse leaves the country, it can never return. They have a unique set of movements, including a famous fifth gait that allows them to glide smoothly over rough terrain. For centuries, these horses carried people across lava fields, rivers, mountains, and blizzards. They are symbols of endurance in a land defined by extremes. Those extremes appear most dramatically in the sky. In summer, the sun never fully sets, casting a golden glow across mountains and oceans at midnight. Days stretch endlessly, and the world feels suspended in time. But in winter, darkness takes over. The sun rises briefly or not at all, and the sky becomes a canvas for the northern lights. Green, purple, and blue streaks dance across the horizon, moving like smoke and fire. The auroras are created by solar winds colliding with Earth's atmosphere, but the experience feels almost supernatural. Icelanders have lived under this changing sky for generations, guided by its rhythm. Beneath that sky lies one of the only places on Earth where you can swim between continents. At the Silfra Fissure in Thingvellir, crystal-clear glacial water fills the gap between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates. Divers move between walls of rock that mark the edges of two continents. The water is so pure you can drink it while diving, and visibility reaches more than 100 meters. It is one of the most extraordinary underwater experiences in the world. Even Iceland's flag carries the story of the island. Its colors represent the forces that shaped it, with red for volcanic fire, white for snow and glaciers, and blue for the surrounding ocean. Few flags capture the essence of a nation so directly. Iceland is not just defined by its landscape, it is its landscape. Many visitors experience the Golden Circle, a route that brings together some of Iceland's most iconic wonders. Geysers erupt from the ground in fountains of steam, and towering waterfalls plunge into deep canyons. In one mountain, you can descend into a dormant volcanic chamber so massive it feels like standing inside the Earth's heart. These places show why Iceland draws millions of travelers each year. They reveal the planet in its rawest, most awe-inspiring form. But beyond the Golden Circle, Iceland holds countless places few visitors ever see. Remote fjords carve through the western coast, dotted with small communities that depend on the sea. In the north, geothermal fields stretch across empty valleys, releasing steam that rises like ghosts from the earth. The interior highlands, unreachable for much of the year, hold deserts of black volcanic rock and mountains streaked with minerals in red, yellow, and blue. It is a wilderness so vast and untouched that even Icelanders describe it as a world within a world. Winter brings its own challenges. Storms can arrive without warning, turning roads into white corridors where the horizon disappears. Winds stronger than hurricanes sweep across the plains, forcing travelers to shelter wherever they can. In the countryside, families rely on stored food, geothermal heat, and each other. Yet, even in the harshest moments, there is beauty. Frozen waterfalls glowing blue beneath starlight, frost-covered lava fields that glitter like crystal, and skies illuminated by flickering auroras that move in silence across the night. Despite these extremes, Iceland's population remains remarkably small. Only about 379,000 people live here, fewer than in many towns in the United States. More than 60% of them live in Reykjavik and the surrounding area. Outside the cities, Iceland becomes a world of silence and space. Roads stretch for miles without a single house in sight. You can stand on a cliff and hear nothing but the wind. In winter, snow covers the lava fields, creating landscapes that look more like the moon than Earth itself. Life in this isolation shaped a culture built on resilience. For centuries, Icelanders endured volcanic eruptions, harsh winters, and unpredictable seas. They survived with resourcefulness, cooperation, and deep respect for the land. Even today, Iceland ranks among the most peaceful, literate, and equal societies in the world. It is a nation that learned to turn challenges into strengths, to embrace the unpredictability of its environment rather than fear it. Iceland is an unlikely nation, remote, harsh, and unpredictable. And yet, it is one of the most peaceful, literate, and resilient societies on Earth. Its people turned volcanic heat into energy, glaciers into power, storms into stories, and isolation into strength. Living here has never been easy, but Icelanders have learned to exist in harmony with a land that is always changing, always challenging, and always breathtaking. This island is a reminder of what the Earth's looked like before civilization, and perhaps what it will look like long after. A place where continents meet, where legends survive, and where nature's forces shape every mountain, every river, and every life. Few countries are as mysterious, as dramatic, or as alive as Iceland, and the more you learn about it, the more extraordinary it becomes.